Here's Tierre Hill. One man to beat. He got slowed down enough that the Hoosiers run him down inside the 5-yard line.
Dan Lane has got to be thrilled with the way his offense starts the second half. Creates a big play on the ground. A couple plays later, they pay it off. So a good response by that side of the ball for the Ducks.
Title game against the Hurricanes. Jay Harris, the running back, in the pistol. And down to the goal line. Touchdown. Four receivers to the right, the three widest in a bunch. Moore throws it to the other side. Single coverage. Jamari Johnson the catch for 2. But Mendoza would have to fight for Hoover, likely to be the backup again. Fernando. Incomplete pass. Time to put in the younger brother. That's it. Might see Alberto tonight. He got in late against Alabama. Mitch McCarthy. Of course. Second punt of the night. Hits at the 5 and stops. Dante Moore is 9 out of 14 for 112. A touchdown and an interception for a pick 6. He's throwing a deep bomb. And it is caught. Jeremiah McClellan. If you're a Hoosier fan.
And he had to fight through a lot of contact, too. I mean, that could have very easily been called pass interference. Instead, McClellan, who's been really good.
To throw 40 touchdown passes in a season. The other 3 all Buckeyes. Wayne Haskins, C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields. DeCorian Moore. Another big play for Oregon. Oregon's 5 out of 7 on third down. Both teams have been outstanding on third down tonight in contrast to the regular season meeting. Some nifty footwork by Tierre Hill. Tyreek Tucker took him down. Final 44 seconds of the third quarter. The pitch to Harris. He's in trouble and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Indiana takes over on downs.
Great recognition. Oregon runs this fullback dive all the time. This is the change up off of it. They fake it. They go with the Vegas pitch. You're not going to fool Indiana. And again, he threw a couple.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome in to the Athletics Podcast. Hello. I hope you guys have had a phenomenal week leading up. We have so much to talk about, so many good things going on right now. The playoffs are here. The football playoffs. Hey, we just had the Bulls, all the big Bulls. Indiana destroyed Oregon, fair to say. 56-22 was the final score. Oregon is good, but they got themselves destroyed. I mean, which is crazy because they beat on the 1st of January, they beat Texas Tech, who was number 4 in the Orange Bowl, 23-0. Shut them out, 23-0. And then they get absolutely shut out by a 34-point difference. Like, that's crazy. So, you know, it just goes to show Oregon's good, but when they're against a team like Indiana, Indiana's been amazing. But Monday, January 19th at 7:30, so 9 days from today, the Miami, Florida, that's number 10, and the Hoovers face off for the CFP championship, which is basically like the Super Bowl, essentially, for them. Basically like the Super Bowl. And so that's going to be huge. Like I said, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. So great stuff going over there in college ball, getting to the end. Hey, we'll have to, maybe next week, maybe not this week, but next week we'll have to take a look at the draft class. We'll have to see who are the big name youngings that are coming to the NFL this coming season, who are going to be some of the rookies this coming year. And so with that being said, though, speaking of the NFL, we'll start off with the obvious title for today. We have had officially 8 coaches, including Brian DeBull from the Giants, who got fired this year. So we have which is huge. This is a big coach shakeup. This is a lot, especially because we have some like really big names in here. Like, it's not just like some anybody's. It's like we have like some big names stepping in here. So, or stepping out technically. So let's start with the Dolphins. Mike McDaniels was fired, which is like, I understand, after having, 3 really good seasons, and then this season was just terrible. But I guess it's a shock for sure. I mean, I guess I personally think like Mike McDaniels is still a really good coach. So I think any team, I think he'll get picked up. I don't imagine I imagine we'll see more of Mike McDaniel going forward. John Harbaugh, though, was a huge surprise too. The Ravens. I understand they just barely missed the playoffs, but I don't know. I think that's also, but I mean, it makes sense though, because the Ravens should be a lot better than missing the playoffs because of one game. And so we're moving down the line. Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon was fired. Pete Carroll was also fired from the Raiders, which I guess makes sense. But I think the problem with the Raiders is it's not coaching. I think they are, like, as a team, they're kind of a dumpster fire. Like, they have, a lot of potential in Brock Bowser and like Ashton Genty, but like, obviously Geno Smith needs to go. The Raiders have had trouble finding a consistent QB since removing like someone like Derek Carr, I guess. But even so, the Raiders have just had trouble keeping quarterbacks around. The Browns fired Kevin Stefanski, which also Kevin Stefanski getting fired is a surprise one as well. But makes sense too. They went from being a playoff team to what, they were like 4 and like 13. They didn't have a good season. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, they did win their last game though. They won their last game against Cincinnati. 5-12, by the way. I was wrong. They're 5 and 12. But still, though, Kevin Stefanski has been one of their more consistent coaches, because the Browns have obviously gone through so many coaches in the last decade. But Kevin was definitely someone who stood with them for quite some time. So surprised they made that move. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do. Raheem Morris, the Falcons, dropped their head coach as well. And the Titans got rid of Brian Callahan. Also not a surprise either. They were terrible. And I just think that the Giants, obviously, with Brian DeBull, was, it kind of was not, it was mixed feelings. Like, a lot of people felt that was a terrible move. A lot of people felt it was a good move. And I don't know. I think the Giants could have continued with Brian. I think their issue was injuries. Like, obviously, Cam Scatterbo and Mike Nabbers both being injured, didn't help. Jackson Dart kind of, had like not really many people to throw to, not really much offense on that part. Defense was also an issue too for the Giants. So I think overall the Giants are kind of like the Raiders in the sense that they have pieces, but they still have so much of the puzzle to build. It's like, yeah, they've got like, 3 big, connections going on, but they haven't filled in the void. So I think that's the issue that the Dolphins were facing. And so, with that being said, too, the NFL expects a couple more teams to also possibly fire coaches. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll report some more about that next week if there's any new news on that end. I think the stupid Giants will be good next year. I mean, yeah, with them getting another like top first round pick, depending on where they if they're smart, I think they would go defense. I think they would focus on defense because their offense is solid when healthy. So I think what they really need is to make up in defense. So then, like, both the defense and offense will be equally on par in terms of like getting better. But still, though, I think some young faces on that defense might improve them overall. But we'll see how that goes. And so going into the playoffs, though, starting today at 4:30, we got to get pumped up. We got to get more pumped up for this. This is great. This is awesome. We are here. So the Rams and Panthers face off tonight at 4:30. Panthers got home field advantage, though. So it's in the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. So Panthers right now have, I would say, the advantage. I mean, the Rams are obviously the Rams. They're a killer. But the Panthers have shown us really good things. Bryce Young has been really good this year. That defense has been pretty solid too. So the Panthers could upset the Rams. It's very possible. It's a wild card game. Anything can happen. I think the Rams, though, should have no problem with this game. But again, who knows? Maybe the Panthers are gonna come out swinging. Maybe they'll like start off 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. We'll see what happens. Maybe the Panthers, like I said, maybe they'll come out with a striking offense right off the bat. Startle the Rams. Because if you're gonna like beat the Rams, it's gonna be like by offense more than defense, because the Rams offense is crazy. You gotta like trying to stop Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua, all those guys. Speaking of that, though, is Devontae Adams still injured? Is he still injured or is he back? No, it looks like he's going to be back. It looks like they're going to have him on probably light duty. He'll probably play like a limited amount of snaps unless they feel like they need him to play more. Like, it'll probably be they'll probably start him off slow, and then depending on if they're winning or losing is probably how they'll play him. Thank you. Yeah, Devontae Adams is back. Yep. Anyway, so Panthers and Bears today at 8 tonight as well. That's a huge one. That's a rivalry matchup. That's huge. Oh my God, yeah, no, that could go any way. I mean, oh my God, Soldier Field is gonna be loud as hell. Like, that stadium's gonna be packed, like completely, like sold out with Packers and Bears fans. Oh my God, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. That's a good one. I'm definitely watching that one tonight. I definitely want to try to catch the Rams and Panthers because I'm betting on the Panthers. I need the Panthers to beat the Rams, because it's like, if we have to face, like, we beat the Rams last, obviously we just beat the Rams, but I'd like, if anything, I'd rather play the Panthers. I 100% would rather play the Panthers than play the Rams. So if the Panthers could beat the Rams out of pure luck for me tonight, that would be awesome. Bills and Jaguars, though, starting us off for Sunday night tomorrow at 1. Bills and Jags. That's gonna be a huge game too, because Jaguars are the better team coming into this game, but you can't obviously sleep on Josh Allen. But I don't know. Is this like, the question is this the end of the road for the Bills, like, first round? Like, that would be crazy, honestly. Like, that would be crazy, because then it would be an interesting AFC, because we won't have Josh Allen and we wouldn't have Patrick Mahomes. But the obvious consensus is, since Patrick Mahomes isn't here, in the playoffs this year. This is a chance for the Bills to possibly get that, Super Bowl opportunity that they've missed. But I don't know. Jacksonville's crazy, especially with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter like that. Oh, dude, good luck to the Bills. That's going to be a really, really tough game. Really strong beatdown. Moving on to the 49ers and Eagles tomorrow at 4:30. I am betting on the Eagles. I need the Eagles to beat the 49ers. I mean, the Eagles do have home field advantage. Both teams are equal in terms of offense and defense. So that's going to be a killer game. It's like anybody's going to come out on top on that one. It's anybody's game. And then the night game is the Patriots and Chargers at 8:15. I don't know. I really think I think the Patriots, I got to go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots got this. But at the same time, Chargers, Justin Herbert, that's also a killer offense. So, but Patriots also have a killer offense. So I think it's just going to come down to whose offense it plays better and whose defense, because both teams have solid defenses. But I would safe to say I don't know. I think the Patriots can win it, but Patriots also have a tough battle. And then the night game on Monday is the Texans and Steelers. I mean, same thing. That could go either way for both teams. Pittsburgh's got home field advantage. They're 10-7, but then they're facing a 12-5 Texans who really made up for last year. They really made up, because last year obviously they had a lot of injuries, so they struggled last year. But this year they came back swinging. So tough game for Steelers. Aaron Rodgers got a tough game ahead of him. The old man's got a tough game ahead of him. Welcome in. Good morning. And then so forth. And then we have the divisional rounds, which we expect to see Seattle and the Denver Broncos, because both teams have the bye weeks. My Seahawks have a bye week. Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy. We get to at least go 1 week where we can rest, and I can go 1 week without stressing out about my team. But hey, the division game's gonna be tough though, because the teams that come out of the wild card are every team. Oh yeah, no. All games are tough throughout. Like, obviously, that's what I'm saying, is like whoever, because all these teams are great. So it's like whoever makes it out, it's like, it's going to, divisional is going to be crazy too. All these teams are really, like I said, really good. So it's just going to come down to the top 8 teams, then 4, and then 2. So really exciting stuff. We're getting into it. I'm ready. Like I said, 4:30 tonight, Rams, Panthers, then follow up tonight at 8 o'clock, Packers and Bears. So it's gonna be awesome. I am so excited. I am so thrilled about what's going on in the world of football right now. But before we move too far from football, I want to quickly go down the list of Pro Bowlers that have been officially selected so far. So we're just going to go down pretty quick about it. Buffalo Bills have 3 players this year going to the Pro Bowls. Josh Allen, James Cook, running back, and then offensive tackle Deion Dawkins. The 3 of those players will be seen in the playoffs, or not the playoffs, the Pro Bowl, if they don't make the Super Bowl. Miami Dolphins already have the 1 guaranteed player since they're not making the playoffs at all. Pro Bowl running back Devon Aiken, yeah, a funny last name. Patriots also have 2. They have their cornerback Christian Gonzalez, crazy, he's been really good, and Drake May. So Christian Gonzalez and Drake May. The New York Jets don't have anybody. They didn't have anybody that stood out this year. Probably would have been Sauce Gardner, but Sauce Gardner's on the Colts now. I imagine Sauce Gardner was up there. Baltimore Ravens have 6. Zay Flowers, wide receiver. Kyle Hamilton, strong safety. I'm going to probably butcher this one because this one's weird, but Tyler Linderbaum. Number 3 for center. Fullback Patrick Richard. Number 6. Linebacker Roquan Smith. And then punter Jordan Stout. Huh, they got a punter in the Pro Bowl. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. You need a punter, so. Cincinnati has 1, which he's going to be locked in anyway. Jamar Chase. No surprise there. He's a killer. Cleveland Browns had Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett, no surprise, but Denzel Ward is also really good too, so not surprised he's there. But the Pittsburgh Steelers got 3. They have Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt, and wide receiver special teams Ben Skoronkin. What the? Sorry, I'm butchering that one too. Skorowick. Ben Skorowick? I don't. That's a really weird one. I'm sorry. Texans have 4. They have Wilson Anderson Jr., defensive end. Nico Collins, wide receiver. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback. And linebacker Azel Al-Shire. Yeah, I think so. It's another weird one too, but I think that sounds right. Shire. Indiana Colts have 2. Oh, I was wrong. I guess not Sauce Gardner, but they had obviously Quentin Nelson and Jonathan Taylor. Both no surprises there. Nelson has been an amazing offensive guard pretty much since he's been in the league. The dude's been crazy all his life. It's killer. It's really killer. Jacksonville has 1. Ross Matiska. Oh, what? Wait, Ross. I don't know. I'm sorry. Another weird one. Matiska. I'm surprised, though, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter aren't in here. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Okay, so Trevor Lawrence is like an alternative, but it looks like they're probably going to go with this young kid. Tennessee Titans have defensive tackle Jefferson Simmons and kick returner Chamir Dyke. Yeah, Dyke. D-I-K-E. Dyke. Yeah. Denver Broncos have 6 Pro Bowlers. Let's see. Cornerback Pat Certain Pat Certain. Cortland Sutton, number 2 wide receiver. Zach Allen, defensive tackle. Offensive tackle Garrett Bowles. Offensive guard Quinn Menares. And offensive linebacker Nick Bonto. Kansas City Chiefs have 4. Travis Kelce, Trey Smith, Chris Jones, and Creed Humphrey. Patrick Mahomes probably would have been here, but Patrick Mahomes obviously screwed up his finger, so I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to just heal himself for next season. No point of risking that for a Pro Bowl. Las Vegas Raiders have Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. No surprise there, honestly. The Chargers have 5. They have Joe Alt, offensive line. Cameron Dickers. Justin Herbert, quarterback. Darwin James Jr. And Tuli Tupulotu. It's another weird one. Dallas Cowboys have 5. Dak Prescott, George Pickens, Tyler Smith, Quentin Williams, and Brandon Aubrey. No surprise there, Brandon Aubrey. Killer kicker. Absolute menace. Brian Burns was the only Giants player that's going to the Pro Bowl. Brian Burns. Eagles have 5. They have Zach Bunn on linebacker, Boone. Jalen Carter on O-line. Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean. Cam Jurgens. Quinyon Mitchell. My bad. That's a cornerback. Quinyon Mitchell. So both their cornerbacks actually made the Pro Bowl. That's actually interesting. We haven't seen anything like that so far. And Washington Commanders have punter Tress Way. So nobody else really. Chicago Bears have 3 this year. They have Joe Tunney, Drew Dalman, and then Kevin Bird the third. So Kevin Bird the third. That's a fun one. Detroit Lions have Jack Campbell, linebacker, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, Amon Ra St. Brown. And then this is a weird one. Penny Sewell. It's spelled weird. I'm going to say Penny Sewell. Sounds right. And then Packers obviously have Micah Parsons. No surprise there either. What a beast. The Vikings have nobody. They have no Pro Bowlers this year. The Falcons have 2, though. Bijan Robinson, running back, and offensive guard Chris Lindstrom. Or Lindstrom? I'm going to say Lindstrom. Limestrom. My bad. Carolina Panthers have 1, which is J.C. Horn. The Saints have nobody. Not a single person was named. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have 2. They have Tristan Wirfs and Anton Winfield Jr. Arizona Cardinals have Buddy Baker and Trey McBride. 2 Pro Bowlers, tight end, and a strong safety. Los Angeles Rams have Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Byron Young, and Jared Verse. So, that's a good one on the Rams. The 49ers have 6. Offensive tackle Trent Williams. Fullback Kyle Jasinski. He got a weird one. George Kittle, tight end. Christian McCaffrey, running back. John Weeks. And Luke Gifford. And the Seahawks have 6 as well. Sam Darnold, DeMarcus Lawrence, Rashid Shaheed. My bad. Rashid. Leonard Williams, Devon Witherspoon, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Absolutely amazing roster, and that puts it right there. And that's the Pro Bowl. That is the Pro Bowl we have coming into this season. Absolutely a lot of big names, a lot of no surprises, but some young surprises, some unexpected names for sure. And as I want to make our way over to basketball, I want to take a look at one of yesterday's games that I specifically thought was interesting. Warriors and Kings. Let's check it out.
Third. Turn of fade
finish. Draymond and Steph with Guy Santos, DeAnthony Melton, and GP2. Warriors going small here. Curry three. He is remarkable. Shot clock down to 5. Curry another three. Same result. Curry's got 27. Steph. Kick out. Melton corner three. Got it. Good swing by Podziemski there.
His teammate on the outside, Podziemski, the touch pass, exactly what was called for.
Schroeder dribbled out to himself and hit the baseline jumper. Schroeder again with the big dribble and the English.
I feel like the Warriors just have a target on their backs. A lot of teams look forward to playing the Warriors.
Anthony Melton, nice take. It's almost like the Warriors won 4 titles.
You can stay aggressive, you're in the bonus.
The worst state.
Hello. Let's take a second to go over this. But that was the Warriors and Kings, though. As I said, this game was like close I was showing that score at first because the game was close for a while, and then it was roughly around 7 minutes into the fourth quarter that things got a little different.
Westbrook attacking, flipping it up and in. Kings did not see Steph, Jimmy, or Draymond in the first meeting. Podziemski, three-point play opportunity. A little ways to go, but the Warriors trying to put the Kings to sleep. Cycle Moody, Podziemski breaking the paint right down the lane. Two-hand rip.
Right now?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, in their prime, in recent
In their
vintage.
prime.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Russell Westbrook would be up there.
Because I always thought his buddy here hits that three. Jerseys around the Bay Area.
Hello. And with that, though, I just wanted to take a quick look at the score on that game, though. The final score on that one was specifically, though, 137 to 103. So Kings and Warriors were keeping it close, but then Warriors took a massive jump of about 20 points and then pretty much just kept that number going up. Like I said, 137 to 103 Warriors Kings last night. Followed up by other games like the Pelicans and Wizards, 128 to 107. The Boston Celtics beat the Raptors, Canada, and 125 to 117. Good job, Boston. 76ers beat the Magic 103 to 91. Clippers beat the Nets 121 to 105. Thunders and the Grizzlies in a close game. Thunders barely surviving it, 117 to 116. Wow, that would have been really bad if they lost. It's really bad that they kept it that close, though. Hawks and Nuggets. Hawks, after trading Trae Young, they had a surprising win against the Nuggets, 110 to 87. Knicks and Suns, 112 to 107. Rockets, Trailblazers. Rockets beat the Trailblazers. I'm wrong. Trailblazers actually beat the Rockets, 111 to 105. And to finish it off, the Lakers and Bucks. Bucks beat the Lakers 105 to 101. And as I had mentioned, though, that was something we definitely need to take a look at, is Trae Young. Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks was traded a couple nights ago, mid-game. He was traded, literally, left the stadium and everything about, 1 or 2 minutes left on the clock of the final quarter. He played that game and pretty much was told to, he was like, hey, you've been traded mid-game. See ya, dude. So Trae Young has been sent to the Washington Wizards. Exactly. So Trae Young is if you don't know who Trae Young is, he's a very amazing shooter. Very amazing shooter. He's been in the league for quite some time. Absolute stud master he is. Still got so much time on him. He's 27 years old. He's easily got about another 10 more seasons in him. And so Trae Young, like I said, Trae Young, he's getting sent to the Wizards. Absolute young talent. I can't wait to see more of him. He's entering his prime, so hey, we'll see how he does. He spent 8 seasons with Atlanta, though. He joined them when he was 19 years old, and now is leaving at 27 years old. And to finish things off, we have another big headline that I would like to discuss before we call it for the evening. Wolves hold moment of silence for woman that was killed by ICE officers. Minnesota had a moment of silence at the start of their game last night as the shooting took place in Minnesota. And they basically just had a simple, brief message to say. And I quote, "As we all know, our community has suffered yet another unspeakable tragedy," Wolves coach Chris Flint said before his team beats the Cavaliers. "We want to just convey our condolences and heartfelt wishes and prayers and thoughts to the families and loved ones of all of those that were greatly affected by what happened." That was all they simply said. They didn't have much more to say on the matter, but the Wolves took a moment before they had their game against the Cavaliers, in which they won. And so just a crazy situation going down. And it's sad. It's really sad, but, shit happens. Accidents happen. I mean, I don't know. I guess it wasn't really exactly an accident. I don't know too much about it. I just know that the young girl was shot. There's a lot of there was controversy, or there's a lot of confusion on what exactly happened. But from what I am aware of, she was shot from behind, or the cop was either beside the car or behind the car. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, it's a very tragic loss. Renee Good was her name. So very, very sad to see, but tragedy in the world. Sad things happen in the world. Things we can't really control, but hey, we just keep smiling, keep on going. But hey, I'm smiling though. I'm smiling because we've got football, we've got basketball, we've got college, we got it all. Everything is coming together in the sports world greatly. I will say that. Sports world is blowing up, going crazy, and I'm excited. Like I said, January 19th, 7:30 p.m., Miami, Florida takes on Indiana for the championship. Huge game on that end. Tonight, 4:30 p.m., Rams and Panthers start off the playoffs hot and strong. We are excited. I hope you guys at home are excited. I'm ready for it. And with that being said, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming here, spending your time with me. This has been the Athletics Podcast. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your warm-ish 34 degrees. But hey, right now with what just going on with all the snow we've been getting here, 34 is great. The sun's beating down. I love it. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy your football. Enjoy your basketball. I will see you guys next week for a new episode. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful